Welcome back to Which Starter Would I Choose, and this time we're covering the fire types. Starting with the fire lizard in Charmander. Charmander, a sweet but feisty Pokemon. You can actually tell the mood and health of a Charmander by the flame on its tail. If the flame burns big and bright, the Charmander is furious and angry, but if it starts to flicker and dim, it means the Charmander isn't too healthy. Charmander doesn't enjoy accepting favors because it feels like it owes something back in return. It's extremely well-mannered and loyal to the ones that it loves. Though when becoming a Charmeleon, this line becomes aggressive. Charmeleon are known to have a vicious nature and they actually seek out strong opponents. They tend to find the challenge exciting. Though it doesn't stop there, Charmeleon will take out the anger on their surroundings, burning everything around them with intense flamethrowers. Though when evolving into Game Freak's favorite Pokemon in Charizard, it becomes a lot more noble. A Charizard will not turn on the full power of its flame against an opponent that it feels is weaker than it. Charizards are known to be very eager to battle, but they'll seek out stronger foes. It's even said that only a weak Charizard will show off its power, though a Charizard will ignore its trainer if it feels as though it doesn't care about it. This line goes on an incredible journey from the young innocent Charmander to the aggressive teenage Charmeleon, all the way to the noble Charizard. You have to respect the growth of this Pokemon. Next up we have the Echidna Pokemon in Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil are often very timid and frightened Pokemon. They'll curl up into a ball when they see a predator get close, though they will unleash flames from the vents in their back as a deterrent. Now when becoming a Quilava, this line goes from being timid to being cautious. Quilava are very aware of their surroundings and they're actually quite agile. This newfound agility allows them to maneuver around attacks and evade them. Now when becoming a Typhlosion, this Pokemon resembles more of a Wolverine. And not just in appearance, Typhlosion is said to be ferocious and extremely temperamental. Typhlosion are incredibly territorial, and it's said that a battle between two Typhlosion can actually destroy an entire forest. Now despite these aggressive tendencies, Typhlosion are actually very loyal to their trainers. They'll defend them with all of their strength. And that's a lot of strength. Now it's time for the fire chicken Pokemon in Torchic. Torchic are very loyal to their trainers. They actually follow behind them everywhere they go. Though that's just it, they're very codependent. A Torchic is afraid of being alone a lot of the time, and it will need to be around its trainer, otherwise it will start to feel afraid. Though that changes when becoming a Combusken. Now this Pokemon will run out through the fields and practice its kicks all day. Combusken want to be strong. They no longer want to be the weak and timid Torchic they were before. They want to grow into their strong next evolution, and that is Blaziken. Now while this line has finally become strong through all that practice, it wants to become stronger. A Blaziken is more determined the stronger its foe may be, though that fire within them actually causes them self-harm. You see, a Blaziken's feathers actually burn off due to exposure to fire, though don't be too alarmed, they do grow back. The amazing power and speed of Blaziken makes it an incredible partner, and I can see why it's such a fan favorite. Now it's time for everyone's favorite fire monkey in Chimchar. Chimchar are quite mischievous and actually highly curious, though they can be incredibly courageous as well. And that courage is handy when they evolve into Monferno. Monferno are adept fighters and incredible in battle. They are very perceptive of situations and will even at times make themselves appear bigger to avoid battle. Monferno sometimes hang out in packs and they'll actually train each other through battle. And through those skills, they gain incredible agility when evolving into Infernape. Infernape is a very energetic Pokemon. It never gives up and is incredibly loyal to its trainer and always tries to win. The crowns of fire on their heads burn more intensely the more heated they become throughout battle, and those flames are said to represent their undying spirit in combat. And for that reason, they cannot be extinguished. Now time for the adorable little pig Pokemon in Tepig. Tepig mostly lounge around eating berries and they'll roast them with their own fire. When delighted, they will wag their tail rapidly. This Pokemon is really cute, and that is until becoming a Pignite. Pignites spend a lot more of their time eating, though now it's because they have internal fires burning inside of their bellies. Though that fire is helpful because their attacks do become stronger as the fires burn hotter. Pignite are close-range brawlers, though also capable of fighting from a range. So as they grow hungry, they'll become quite sluggish, and then they'll need to go back to eating. When finally evolving into the boar Pokemon Emboar, and you know what? Say what you want about this Pokemon, but it has an incredible shiny. Ember is a kind and wise warrior Pokemon. They care deeply about their friends and their trainers. Their fiery beards flare up when they feel strong emotions, and they'll use their bodies as a shield to protect the ones they love. So next time you're mean about Ember, remember that it loves you. Next we have the fox Pokemon in Fennekin. Fennekin are incredibly temperamental. It's actually been said to trainers that they'll really need to focus on keeping this Pokemon's anger in check. When they feel threatened, they'll shoot flames out of their ears, and in their spare time, they enjoy eating twigs, which gives them the energy that they need. Now when evolving into Braixen, this Pokemon actually stops eating those twigs and starts using them for battle. They'll use the friction of the branch to light it on fire and almost use it like a wand. These appear to function as security blankets of sorts for the Pokemon, helping temper the mood swings they experience. If this Pokemon was to lose its branch, it would become incredibly anxious and really struggle to function. Then when finally evolving into Delphox, this Pokemon becomes incredibly calm and collected. A Delphox will stare into the fire on the end of its branch to enter a new level of focus, giving them access to a newfound psychic energy. This line story is quite beautiful, showing us that sometimes it's okay to struggle because you will eventually find your calm and your peace. Now time for the Fire Cat starter in Litten. Litten are very calm, and they actually don't show much emotion. They're known to be quite hard-headed, though when their trainer gets in trouble, they will stand up for them and come to their rescue. Though be careful getting close to a Litten if it's not yours, as it can use its sharp claws to lash out at strangers. Now when becoming a Torracat, this Pokemon loves to fight. They're actually known as fierce fighters with a love for battle, though they are known to be quite spoiled. They may even scratch their trainers if they feel annoyed by them. Though when evolving into a Pokemon that sends chills down every VGC player's spine whenever they hear its name, Incineroar, that love for battle only grows stronger. Incineroar are violent and aggressive. It's known to be arrogant and even refuse to fight weak foes. And that's not because it's noble, it just doesn't feel like they're worth its time. It's actually said deep down that Incineroar loves playing the antagonist. So while it does have a brutal prowess in battle, its hubris may be its downfall. Now we get into the Fire Bunny in Scorbunny. Scorbunny are always bursting with energy, and I guess that's a good thing because before battle, this Pokemon needs to warm up by running laps. Though once it's in combat, Scorbunny will run circles around its opponent, delivering swift kicks. Speaking of its foot, it's actually said that a Scorbunny's foot will bring its trainer good luck. Now when evolving into Reboot, this Pokemon tends to be a little aloof at times. It tends to spend a lot more of its time brooding and kicking around berries, though there's a reason for that. It wants to learn its signature move, and it does that once it becomes a Cinderace. Cinderace are very confident and they love the spotlight, though they love the attention a little bit too much. They get pumped up while being cheered, but too much cheering will make them overconfident, making them act a little bit risky and getting them in a tough spot. Though even when they lose, they tend to be good sports about it. Though last but not least, we have the newest starter to the series in Fuecoco. Fuecoco are laid back and like to live at their own pace. They enjoy eating and they'll rush toward any food that they see. And they're actually quite good singers, though once a Fuecoco can sing, it tends to become really shy about it and doesn't like people to hear. Now when evolving into Crocalor, it will start to joyously sing a little more. Crocalor do seem to be quite clumsy, but they're really cautious and empathetic around those they love. Now when finally evolving into Skeledirge, this Pokemon line becomes quite meddlesome, though incredibly caring. Its singing is still gentle, though now unbelievably powerful with its torch song. Its singing voice is said to be capable of soothing anyone who hears it. Now that we've gone through all the Fire-type starter Pokemon, it's time for me to give you that answer on which one I would choose. So first, I'd love you to go down to the comment section and let me know which Fire-type starter Pokemon you would choose. And while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon content. Now my choice would be Cyndaquil, and that may be because it's an Echidna and I'm Australian, but it's probably more likely that Cyndaquil was the fire starter that I chose back in Pokemon Silver when I was a kid. And I loved this Pokemon. It's so incredibly adorable, and when it grows into that wonderfully tough Typhlosion, taking care of its territory and being so loyal to its trainer, it's truly just a beautiful story. Now if you'd like to know which grass type starter I would choose, then click here. And if you'd like to know which water type starter I would choose, then click here.